Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody all around the world, and thank you for joining us today for another Left 4 Dead 2 live show. My name is MK. I'll be your presentator for today, and I am rolling with my co-caster Nino. How you doing, my friend?
I am doing great, MK. Great to be here. We had another round of super hot fire matches to match the King's Infernus Cup, and I did get confirmation we're gonna have 7 rounds of Swiss. So we got a number more of these coming at
Ooh,
you.
ooh, ooh, ooh. Did I hear seven?
7 rounds.
7 rounds of Swiss, and if we
Oh
have two
yeah.
more rounds of this, let me tell you, there's already some exciting matches looking forward to this week. But guess we're gonna have some exciting ones towards the end as well. And everybody
Mhm.
knows as the Swift stage kinds of evens out or it gets towards the end, it usually means most of the level matches are kind of even, which means the high tier players are playing against the high tier players, the medium tiers are playing the mediums, and the lows are playing the lows, which usually means you get the best quality Left 4 Dead 2, no matter where you go at that point of the tournament.
Yeah, especially, I mean, I think if you're a top tier team, you get an enjoyable tournament the whole way through, right? You get some easy games, you get some well matched games. I think the low tier teams are the teams that really get rewarded by sticking it out once those matchups get closer and they get a couple quality matches out of it.
Yeah, once they get something a little bit more to their tier, I would agree, especially because the first couple of weeks they might get against a team that's much greater than them, so they can
Yeah,
learn some of those things and kind of put it to the test against
right.
some of the other teams that have been trying to make a name for themselves, see where they can learn from those situations. And believe me, not I've been on the side of those games. Sometimes you can get demolished, but
Yep.
necessarily getting demolished isn't the most worst thing that can happen because it can let you they'll pick apart your mistakes and you can help sew them together a lot quicker and push your team in the right direction if you're willing to take the time to do the tape review as well.
Yeah, perception is everything, and it is in this case as well. It just depends on how you look at it.
Indeed, it does, and that's what the highlights of the weeks are for. Usually, you'll see the most damage hits come out, and even if you don't play the game, you can look at it and say, maybe if I do want to get played in it, you could take some of those things into consideration. And don't get me wrong, just watching these games and be like, I could do that, and just jump in the team with some of the best that have played it. Nah, that is not the case. That is not the case. This one takes some time for you to be able to get to the tiers of some of these players are, but if you definitely want to stick it out, you want to learn, this is the way to do it. And not only that, if you're just a fan, sit back and relax and watch the best to play the game. And the new and up and comings try to make a name for themselves as well, even though it might sound like a broken record, but they gotta make their way up somehow at some point, in my opinion, if they want to make themselves known in the Left 4 Dead community.
It's an ecosystem. There's top tier teams exiting. There's got to be people to fill their space, and inevitably there are, and it could be you.
Yes, it could be, but the question is, are you going to be in the highlights of the week? We'll just have to find out, but I
Yep.
guess that means we should start it. Why don't we get these highlights rolling? Give us 1 second to get the ball on the road. And here we go now. Let's start it off. The first match.
Okay. Kicking it off, Berserker's Mood versus In Memory with the card of the face straight to kick it off. It is going to be In Memory on the Survivor side. Berserker's Mood infected. You can see he just rolls it up in there. Still got the Charger jockey left, and those are going to land just like that on the back line as he gets some coverage towards the car, the safe car. Now, this clip doesn't end here. Well, it does for the moment. It doesn't end here because this is an extended tank fight. The tank lived with about 700 HP, all the pills getting popped out of in memory. They tried to run the tank back, and then they started holding it here, which allowed NMN to get in a car as well as get around the back, cut him off. Boom, SI's land. Zoe takes a card to the, or Rochelle takes a card to the face, a rock as well, and just a very, very impactful beginning to Berserker's Mood match against In Memory. In Memory does manage to bounce back decently well on chapter 1. This was the main highlight for me. You see the jumping spawns in the bathroom. Not even the bathrooms are a safe place here on Left 4 Dead 2. The Charger, the Spitter, they're in there, keeping them in. Massive hit onto Rochelle. As she stands up, they're going to be down about 3/4 of their bonus left. Unfortunately for In Memory, they weren't able to get much more steam than this. You do see this last chance hit, a last opportunity for In Memory to get some damage in. You can see past the motel, In Memory didn't get anything really, but they've got a quad right here and they could end it. 644 bonus left. But wait, they walk it in, lock it up. Lolly Gangster gets caught out outside of the door, but it's still all right. Just some scrapes and bruises. The team finishes it off. I love that. Just walk it in, lock it up. Now we got Gangster on the tank, finishes off Nick. And look at this situation. All the SIs are dead at this point. That charge does land, but now they're all dead. And he's in a kind of tricky situation. He hits the dumpster just a tad to be able to creep behind it. And it's kind of this this weapon of mass destruction where he's like, I'll press the button, I'll do it. Now that one doesn't land. But it's the exact kind of pressure that he needed to stay alive with this tank. Gets the recommit here. That rock, we just saw that, but this is the second half of it. We do have the decommit, but wait for it. We got Boom, Smoke, Hunter, all the SIs get back up, double Boom, recommits with all the CIs trickling in. You already know what's going to happen with this dumpster as the SIs come to support. Boom, double. How about that? Skip it along. And that round is over. You can tell at this point it was a decisive victory for Berserker's Mood. I still wanted to put this in here because this was a nice tank by Team Captain Yam. Unfortunately, the SI's a little bit lost in the sauce. Going in, not really helping out, but you can see even without the double smacks, keeping them cornered, he's still got 2K. Jockey comes in, pulls forward instead of maybe a separation pull, and that will be the end of Yam's life, but the solo tank making it happen. And that was he got a ton of damage in, and we go straight into Wild and Shocking Asia versus Ekpokmak.
And let me tell you, now this one was something we saw the fall off here. We thought it was going to be a little bit of rough start. He takes so much chip on the commit here, and I thought it was a little questionable to go for the car doing to be at 2,700. Look at him still trying to get it down to 1,797. He finally gives up with only 30% of his health left, and then he goes in, he punches the hunter and kills him, and no, doesn't get any more than that. That was a rough start for Wild and Shocking Asia.
Yeah, SI's landing, but just not enough HP. They walk out of the Hearst Shipping Co. In goes the hit. It's a beaut, I can tell you that much. Smoker, Jockey, charge in the spit. It's going to be a massive hit out of Wild and Shocking Asia.
It definitely was, but Snipe with the quick clears and did it in the right order to do that. And now it's going to be his tank as he splits the survivors here. They get a pull forward. He gets his corner. He gets a second punch. Now, if you look at here, now he's less than one punch, so he decides to get the quick in cap. Actually, I thought it was the next chapter. Wrong game. But Jockey will land forward. Rock is successful. Charger tries to block Ellis there, but can't. And ends up getting killed by the tank, actually, instead of helping out his team. And then this survivor runs forward, clears it, and the tank kind of caught out in the open here, getting an in cap. Spread the love. Decent tank coming out by a Pokmok. Not bad at all.
Yeah. Head into chapter 2. We've got Wild and Shocking Asia's tank. It is here in the cubicles. Jockey, Charger, Smoker. Charger not always the easiest to get in there. He's reckoning with the cubicles, don't we all? I'm right there with you, Demon. But just the charge landing as far as support SI. And, you know, he's going to try to get that single in cap. I like that he just switches targets because he's like, well, that guy's literally 1 HP. He goes and gets an extra smack. Makes one more person slow.
Yeah, and even in caps himself, so it was a wise decommit, but the 2 boom lands here. There's an early corner. I'm not quite sure what Ellis was doing here. The corner goes down at very high HP, allows the tank to switch targets. I think he could have had somebody there, but he didn't see Rochelle to the right. Kind of ran right by her, so it left him to kind of chase somebody around, but he does get a couple more punches before he decides to get the incap and decommit. And Walden Shock and Asia won't die here, and the tank is not going to really be able to do much more as they take it outside, and this is where it started falling apart. As you can see, the tri-cap comes in here, and this just takes the bonus. Look at this. Survivor actually get pulls into the electricity, but because of the smoker did the pull, it didn't do as much damage as the other ones, because that does a lot of damage there, Null. Let me tell you, if you get close to that.
Tank bringing it in, 8712 team captain, running it in dry. Still got an SI spawning in. Hunter Charger Jockey. He does get a bit of a corner, knocks her out, knocks one way away. They double cap. Is that the full? Okay, no, that other guy does get broken, or he didn't land it, but that could have been way more. I feel like they got away with murder there. We head over to bets. Look at the drop down. They run it the long way, and that allows us perfect drop down. You're going to have the CIs come in. 2k HP left on bets. Jockey on the head. Hunter in as well. They are capped. They are cornered. Just got Rochelle up. Still trying to get her clears, but she's got nothing to work with. The CIs continue to rip away.
Yeah, and even though they actually survive here, no, only 3 of them do. They will actually lose Nick here, but we won't catch it. But it does wipe out, and then here comes the tank on the finale. Apakmak really doesn't need to do much here. They almost solidified the W. But this is going to be Walden Shock and Ace's final tank, spreading the love here, not really focusing the capper down, as they're double teaming a jock guy in the other room. Tank is switching the love, hitting Rochelle now. I think there was one double there, punched Ellis out, but they will survive the tank and solidify their victory. But of course, they have to take the same tank, and here was a pretty good opening hit, and this pretty much did the math right here. No,
yeah,
it was out of the equation right here. I mean, we were really they needed like perfect score to get that, and it's almost impossible on this map.
Right, I mean, that was an insane hit regardless. Perfect hit or not, I mean, perfect health or not. In goes Roth here. Gonna be doing what he can, getting some smacks. They go in with the melees. Charger will be missing. But he's got Nicholas caught out here. He goes down. Good health left for Walden Shocking Asia, but it's just not enough.
Now, good try by them, though. They put up a good effort. At least they had an opportunity, now, even though it was perfect.
Definitely.
A perfect score they needed, but...
So we head over into Teletubbies versus Los Polares. Chapter 1, you can see the scoreline already pretty massive, but it just wasn't that eventful. I think we went into round 2, but here's Teletubbies here with a quad, and watch this. Jockey from the side, lands on Rochelle. Ellis was aware of it. Did you notice that? The hunter stumbling the other, and that is what prevented the quad right there. It could have been already over, but in goes Roar for Teletubbies, dropping it in with the classic Hunter Charger Jockey. He's got his cars in play. Rochelle up on the cold drinks machine. He says, get down. Gets her in the corner, finishes her off. 1,400 health left. Look at the jockey. Gonna be nabbing him up, taking him away. The other SIs don't land. It doesn't matter. He's right out there in the open. Vans to the dome. I love the setup. I love the super intelligent jockey setup. We head to chapter 3. This was, obviously, you can see Los Polares in the hole at this point, down quite a bit. But look at this moment out of Coach. He decides to run down the stairs away from his team to try to avoid spit damage. That pulls him into his smoke. Spit comes down. Boom comes down. Boom gets popped. Stumbles in behind. The hunter catches. I love that play. She has to run through the death spit to clear him off. That was a beautiful hit.
Big time. Big time. Oh, man. I guess if we're watching this area right here, then I guess something catastrophic is about to happen.
You already know that that's the case. The catch. I mean, this isn't the most common spot, but the Teletubbies just split up, and I love that Los Polares immediately capitalizes on it. Gets 2 in the back line, bunch of smacks, and Chapter 3 was a shining moment for Los Polares. The issue is, when they take it to their survivor side, how much can they do? They got a 2-2 right here. Smoker Hunter, trying to get their clears on the CIs, etc., etc. You know the drill here on Chapter 3. They know that all hell is about to break loose once they cross a certain line. Coach, with the smoke, actually, it's not going to be the spit there. The spit's kind of useless other than blocking, but the hunter, stumble, boom, stumble. They cannot clear Coach. They go down about 12, 13%. And you already know it's rough for a Void. They've got 2 down with the tank coming in. And I think they need to tank the tank there, but this was a very hopeful Coach. He's like, come on, guys, we got this. He sees it. He's like, oh, never mind. Runs back inside, jockey on the head, got to M2 that away, and you already know what's going to happen here.
He's just going to spread the love and get the ink. Oh, the Boomer got the ink cap actually on Nick there with a scratch, leaving easy corners. And, oh no, are we going to see what I think we're going to see?
Uh-oh, I guess we'll have to find out. We see Teletubbies with a very healthy lead. Surely nothing can go wrong from this point. They start the train car. And they're not going to run it back because they don't care. Oh, ledge hang, you're dead. And now Teletubbies down 1 already here. And they struggle through the rest. Look at the spit. Look at the spit. The hunter catch with the charge. I mean, Teletubbies completely turned their brains off. And they almost seriously paid the price with 2 of them. But that's going to be still a massive cost to them. You can see their points basically stopped in their tracks. We take it over to Los Polares. They need a Herculean effort here in Chapter 4 to even bring Chapter 5 finale into the question. The boom. They drop down. Smoke pull down. Hunter up top with the stumble. Charge. Into the wall. Smackdowns. Double boom. It's over. 20%. Massive hit. You can see this last opportunity for them. They tried to bring a very valiant effort through post-tank, 30% of the bonus left, but this room is just so scary sometimes. I love Teletubbies' execution, keep them in the spit, and it's done.
Yikes. That's a good combination with the spawns they had, 2 win caps. And that 400 bonus is gone now. No,
Yep.
It's that easy. When the DB is open, it goes down with ease. I always say that. So that's what you should target. But as we go on to the next game, it is going to be you win against YBG. And this one was great. I don't know if you were, how much of this you caught, Knock. I know there's a lot of casts here. I don't think you were here with me for this, were you?
Server 2, I was.
Server. Look at this double charge into the tri-cap.
Ooh.
Big damage coming out from Zerk, YBG, the Rocklands. They're just trying to bleed out U-Win, playing long rock tank on their home server. Zerk's going to commit here. He's going to get the early pull for him. He gets the punch. There's one. There's another. One more will get him real low. In cap, and he decides to decommit. And you think with 2,300 health, he could do more, but no, that is it. You do nothing more than that, and they will make safe room. As we go over to Antextural, as he's going to do his commit on his away game right now. They light him up for about almost 3k. He goes over to the car. Pretty standard play for most tanks. Try to make something happen. Splits the survivors. Now this is nuts here, no. Watch how crazy this is. What do you think's gonna happen? Nope.
Water?
The smoker's gonna body block him, and he
Oh!
dies right before the death punch.
Oh god.
It was insanely close, but the smoker's body got in the way from the death punch. And the tank needed to angle it a little bit, but he couldn't, didn't have enough life. And now he's on here, the home game again for YBG. Hikaru gets his corner, gets his in cap, turns, not able to get anything. Pretty standard tank for a home game, in my opinion there. Now, not much going out. But now here is where YBG kind of got caught. Kind of a rolling 2 cap comes in here, but both cappers are in the spit. While one is dealing with the hunter, there's also a car alarm going off. And they lose so much right there, and it was really unfortunate for them. And that's where they didn't get a lot of points for their home game. But either way, it's now Kiao playing his home tank, trying to do what they can to maximize damage. Jockey comes in, lands, but gets cleared so quickly. There's his pull. He hits a rock, and now he's kind of stuck out here with 2,300. And look at the health that's on the away team with U-Win. And they're going to be able to kill the tank off with still 950 bonus.
Wow.
But of course, we're not going to be able to keep on to that because right here, this attack, one of the most unorthodox tri-caps, but it was big because the pull in the back resets them, and they get another hit in exactly the same spot, but didn't do too much. But here, look at how close this quad is, and boop, clear the last second.
Wow.
Literally, they almost wipe out, and U-Win will get a couple more points. but they will eventually end up wiping out. Not able to make the safe room on the away, but it is understandable for this chapter now because it is a journey, let me tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
But now Rake for Ewan's going to commit his tank. And if you look at YBG, this is a long chapter. They lost 30% of their bonus on this with their home. Tank getting juked around by Zerk. 2 missed punches already. Down to 1,400. Support goes. Somehow he got a double. I don't even understand how that happened. But he punches him there. Separates the survivors. Rake tries one more rock. Not going to get it. It's about 20% tank coming out. And YBG will make safe room with about that.
Right.
And then here, a really rough start for Ewan on the 2-2. Look at Rochelle trying to be safe in that corner. Nowhere to hide. Pulled in the spit. 15% from the gate. Exactly what YBG needed as we come into the next side. This was really close to being a tri-cap. But as you can see, Rochelle goes for a ride. So many commons on Rochelle that they can't clear it. And eventually they get that with Mindless. A scratch by the jockey. Another in cap. 2 in caps go out. And then Ewan will be able to march their way to the tank. But look at their bonus now. 24-17. They just spawned the tank. Somebody pulled them. They want to go forward. The tank ladder punches them back through the window. And then now, at a pure glimpse of hope, and Textral makes a mad dash for it.
Let's go.
And believe it or not, it might seem like it's impossible, especially because the tank decided to go the wrong way there.
God.
He should have cut him off, but Antextral, can he do it? Can he? There's a jockey.
Oh!
Gets the jockey and locks in the points for his team. And they really don't get much from it, but it is about 46 points I think they got there.
It's a flex.
Yeah, either way, as he comes in with their final away tank, Ewan getting punched onto Kyo, third punch onto Kyo, 1,700. The in cap goes out at about 1,400, comes in with 2 cappers. Hunter gets shut down. Jockey eventually gets him some double punches, and then YBG will survive. But look at their bonus on their home server now. They lost it all. And that is not going to amount to be good for them. Because when they take Ewan's tank, look at that creative stumble into the corner there.
Yeah.
By the Charger. And actually, if you take notice, he will have his charge back before the tank goes below 1K. He just doesn't get anybody. And the last double punch comes in, tries for a Hail Mary rock, and they will survive and get a little bit more points. They'll put up about 2,100 and change now, giving a 2,200 point delta for YBG on their home server. And you know what we say, that's just not quite enough.
Yeah, definitely decent. But we'll have to see what they can do here. Sushi bringing it in, 4K left. Charger, Hunter, Jock, not going to go for the cars like WASA went for. The jockey pull down. They've got them right where they want them. But all the SI is dead at this point, and it is just going to be Sushi getting a couple smacks.
Yeah, I thought he should have threw the rock at the guy getting up. No, it wouldn't have been a god frame. It was real close. Probably the reason why he did it. But look at this. They repeat the thing on the same side. They double charge him. There's a cap that goes out. They're like, you do it to us, we'll do it to you. No rocks do land out of that craziness, and neither did it for YBG. So they both kind of play even at this point now, except for the fact that Ewan had an additional, I think, 70 points on their home server. That was it. Not much of a difference at all. As Antextral kiting the survivors around. Like the jump onto the bus there. That was a great job. He's getting low here, but they stop backing up, and it's disastrous for the survivors. I think they got caught up on the pole there and all. I don't know if you noticed that, but that unfortunately gave the tank the corner, and unfortunately it will lead to their demise as well. It's amazing how one mistake escalates to catastrophe.
Yeah.
Or does it? Or do they clear the smoker at the last second? No. They will get the clear, but unfortunately the tank says, nah, don't think so.
Forgot all about that.
I did. It was
fleeting
close.
moment. Fleeting moment.
It was so close.
So in goes Zerk with the tank. The smoke into the Hunter. Unfortunate rock. 3k HP left. He's going to go for another rock. He's out of hope, out of opportunities, out of options, and he goes down.
Yeah, that Hunter landing on the smoker was so bad luck for them
Yeah.
because that would have been his corner, and I believe he could have pulled the cap out of that. And unfortunately, it turns out to be nothing, and that is devastating with a beast tri-cap there. They weren't able to clean it up with the quad, but that was pretty much their tank there as Ewan rolls in with
Yeah.
63%. Huge.
We got the follow-up choke point hit. Hunter spit into the charge, grabbing him. Even gets
Ooh.
a smackdown. Smoker's still alive.
And
Runs it for a scratch. Keeps him in death spit.
yeah, it's so. Look at that now. This is crazy how much can go wrong there, especially if you kill a spitter on top of the guy. Here,
Yep.
you see that tank accidentally missed his jump there to jump on top of the big rig, but the smoker bails him out, and this gets crazy really quick here. Is Sushi goes down with only 3 punches. Unfortunately, doesn't get his pills off. Tries to hit them up there. Right now, the tank gets him, yeets Rochelle off, who loses all of the HP.
Oh, no.
As there's a jock forward, and it's looking like very grim for the survivors as Kyo has to back up while the survivor team have to make a decision to clear the jock guy while the other one is in pursuit trying to help Kyo with the tank, and Rake is able to decommit again with yet another in cap and a couple hundred points of HP.
Ewan with the jockeys. Oh my lord. Here comes Axon in there. Look at Rochelle. Now she accidentally splits herself. She's up above. Has to drop down. 180. Smack knocks her out. She is going to get smacked again into the corner. Smoke. Jockey. Not finding a whole lot here. Trying to roll in for the triple cap on the back line, but they're going to find absolutely nothing for their efforts. Axon with 100 HP left. Runs it in. Goes down.
Now we're going to swap to the
Ooh.
other side here.
I
Now,
remember this.
unfortunately, YBG here will take a little bit of damage. There's a double cap that goes out. Charger's beating up Rochelle, and eventually the Charger gives up to go try to punch Ellis. And that was about 18% before tank. And that smoker did 45 damage, which is an insane amount of damage. And here's Hikaru committing. The 2 boom landed on a way, not looking good for YBG. The tank not being focused a lot right now due to the commons in play. He gets the ink cap, still has about 4,000 HP. Punches one survivor really far away, commits the ink cap, gets Zerk in the corner. Zerk pops pills, but it doesn't matter. 3 quick punches, gets the ink cap. 28-28, punches him off the top of the fence. That was really crazy punch. Coach was a little overzealous, not paying attention. The Charger chases Coach into a corner and leaves one survivor up left, and it is just a matter of time. As you can see, the health on the tank. Survivor just went slow, and Hikaru quickly cleans it up with a rock to the face onto Rochelle. And that is almost the end there for YBG, as the mathematics are almost in play now.
Yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful moment. The tank and the hit before it. We see Kyo on the tank, get in the corner. Jockey comes in. They land the charge. And so the SIs are landing for a brief moment, but the tank damage, it already gets lasered down. And that will be the end. Well played to both sides, of course, as we headed to Los Comedia versus Zeta Pin. This was an interesting match. Here we are in Chapter 2. You can see it's neck and neck for the most part. I believe Zeta Pin had already gone at this point. You see Los Comedia, 700 bonus left. They are walking. They're going to be getting a lead here. But as they bring it in, the charge, able to connect, keeps him in with the Hunter, and the stumble onto Rochelle into the smoke, keeps her in it. The clears are slow, and there goes about 200 points. And they continued to lose points from that as well. Here is a rare Survivor clip. I feel like, especially my clips are often SI focused, but this is a beautiful execution by Los Comedia. You are going to see Zeta Pin go for this hit. It's a 2-2 with the smoker charge. Boom comes out, avoided. Smoke, avoided. Charge, avoided. Everything gets avoided, even the spit damage. What a shining moment for Los Comedia. You can see
this choke point is rough now.
Yeah, you can see that Zeta Pin has been rolling over them so far, has doubled their score, walking it through, 400 bonus left, but you might notice a certain SI combo. It is the quad, and as they shoot it in, Hunter will initially miss, but the follow-up is clean, and he will eventually find his target with the Smoker reconnect on that to finish it off.
Yeah, you don't want to chase a smoker with your melee out that close. No, it's hard to get him.
Yeah. So, especially with the finale still very much being an option for Dark Carney Remix, we've got the tank bringing it in, and Los Comedia does a great job here. It looks like Nick is going to get cornered, but he dodges that hit. Ellis is lagging a bit, but he's going to get around. The rock comes out, gets avoided. SIs don't land, and it's still looking great for Los Comedia, as the tank will drop. They take it to finale. They got Zeta pinned down pretty early, and they take it back to the starting area for this tank. But unfortunately, they walk it back too far, MK. 25-point DP. Collat charge. It's too easy. They get the separation, and everything falls to pieces from here. GG. Zeta Pin wins this one.
Jeez, I've never seen him take it back there before. That means they're
I like the idea, but all the way back in the safe room may be a little excessive.
And especially when you need distance points and you need more points. But we'll go on to Hikori against Signalis. Hikori, recent champions of RBT 7, they're back on the wall right from the gate here now. Signalis gets the corner early. Look at them butcher down the tank pretty quickly. He goes outside, which is smart. Negates a lot of damage there, which goes unnoticed in my opinion. Here come his cappers. He has 12 HP. He has 12 HP. He has 12 HP. And the zombie punches down Rochelle at the last moment. And they're not able to get the clear on that Hunter, down to 122 HP. And Signalis has opportunity. All they have to do is survive the tank. But look at, they give doubles early. Second set of doubles. The third set of doubles, but he finally gets out of the safe room. It is disastrous. They get him down to about 2,800 after the HP. He has another corner. Support goes in. They can't get the 2 cap, but they will allow to get the double once God framed. There's a real double. Almost death punches Nick over the top of the balcony there. I don't know if you realize that, but he gets another corner here. Look at the bait from Coach, not moving. Tank comes, baits the pill pop, and then they're actually able to get everybody up. I don't know if that was intentional, but it was a great bait onto the tank. And now, Signalis with all the opportunity here now. But look at what happens. Hikori says, nah. And look at the tri-cap that goes in and the wrong decision by Ellis to chase the jockey when the Hunter and the Charger rip away 2 of their survivors below 45 HP for 2 survivors. Devastating.
Tough decision, yeah.
And as we go on to Chris's tank coming in here, kind of easy. The Boom Survivor just huddles above the ceiling here. This is where I think Signalis try to kind of threw away a little bit here now. They should have ran back even though they were low HP. They still could have taken it there because you could chip the tank coming in compared to him just falling on a teammate's head. Chris missing punches, but it doesn't matter. He still has 3,400 HP as the Hunter will come clean this up. Or will he? It'll be the tank. Alright, now we go down here. Here is going to be great damage against Hikori. I love this. The Boomer stumble in the spit. Look at Coach trying to get the quickest way out of it. He can't, and Grizz goes all the way down to end cap. He backs up and goes down. That's the early tank looking good. Now all they have to do is capitalize with their tank play. And you'd figure that they'd be able to do that. But look at Fear Factory backs up. Smart play. Normal commit so far. He just needs to rely on that Smoker to get him his pull. Smoker's up. Gets him his pull. The tank actually gets cleared so quickly he couldn't capitalize on it. The Charger comes in. Misses. The jockey gets bullied, but does get him his corner, but he misses his punch. He's going to salvage this. Gets 2 punches on the DB, which is why it was great, as they take 40% away there. But Hikori makes it in the safe room untouched after that until we go to the next chapter. Signalis, their tank. Punch early. Looking promising so far. He switches targets. Gets a punch there on the Coach again. This is pick on Grizz Day, by the way, just so you know ahead of time. Grizz is going to be going down a lot this campaign, and he goes down there, and that was his first down on this campaign. I mean, that chapter, but unfortunately, there was no big damage, but he does end up going it down again. But Zyko's commit with his tank, jumping along through. Look at the double cap coming in. Not bad. He has his corner as well. The jockey can't clean it up, so Coach is able to clear, and everybody is saved. But if you notice, he actually just M2s that hunter off. He doesn't actually kill it. And the 3000 HP Zyko getting a rock. It'll look like some of the things that he's done in the past here could lead up to the wipe. But unfortunately for them, he'll get a double punch here. Another rock comes out and will land. And that will be all he's able to get as they go into the finale. And look at this big play by Signalis. But unfortunately, look at that point delta. And the jockey can't clean it up. That was so close. They almost quadded Hikori. And instead, double in cap up top leads to them both being in capped and picked up. And for that reason alone, they're not going to be able to make it to the safe room. But Zealot right now goes in, misses a punch, and look who he's going after again. It's Grizz. Like I was saying, Grizz being picked on big time. And remember, this is his second down here now, so he goes black and white after this. As the hunter lands in the back, and Zealot right here knows he can't really get much here. Just try to salvage what he can and get a better sack order, and he dies off. So Corey will survive, but no chance on the second tank, so they decide to play for fun. They know they've already won here, hanging out. Shockwave unfortunately forgot that you got to crouch. And the tank is not going to let him get the pickup and start his commit. Ooh, almost dies there. Oh! No, almost. He punches off Coach. Nick says, I don't want to be punched, and neither does Coach, so they hang themselves. Tank gets the wipe, and that will be a Corey getting 3,700 and change. And I'll tell you what, no, you want to see one of the most unorthodox deaths here? What do you think it's going to be? Death charge? Death jock?
That's what I think.
No, it's going to be a bull death charge. Boop! Right off the ladder. I've never
see it coming.
I've never seen a bull charge off the ladder before. That was the first time.
That
entertaining
was
death.
So sick. Yeah.
You can eat it off the ladder.
We had another a very intriguing matchup here. The Crew versus L'Obscurité. We got the tank bringing it in. Nick getting a little bit too overzealous himself. And he does get cornered off L'Obscurité. Short work of this round with one down. Hunter charge, Smoke still alive. They bring it in. Hunter is chilling, just trying to make sure that they can lock it down, and they indeed will be able to do that with that charge catch. Beautifully done. The Crew responding with a solid hit of their own in Chapter 1. L'Obscurité aware that this hit's on the way. Hunter, they try some shenanigans with the charge. Doesn't work out, but the smoke there, ready to follow up with the spit. Eventually, Rochelle has to drop down into the spit for a moment to go get that clear. Nice, almost 15%er, 15%er, and they drop down, continue on their way. As we head into Chapter 2, this was a worrisome prospect here. This is a great area to hold if you are trying to prevent a quad, perhaps one of those anti-quad rooms. But what they don't notice is it's a spit, and as a spit sends it in, the Crew gets absolutely obliterated. Not the area you want to be in when you're dealing with the spit, and that shows how important the strategy is. Those little details, you gotta know there's no spit there. As they bring it back into Chapter 3, you can see L'Obscurité with a very large point advantage. We got a 2-2 split here as they walk in to bring in the tank. They do bring it in. The SIs are ready. The charge, collateral, knocking him down, slow get up, jockey on the head. He manages to carry away, and this round is done.
Oh no.
Just a fun little moment here to finish off our match. They took it to Chapter 4. You can see L'Obscurité definitely going to be winning this one. And at this point, Nicholas starts running forward to clear some commons. I'm watching the rest of them set up, but he's not ready. Smoke into charge. I wasn't ready either, but there it is. The beautiful smoke charge combo. You got to be ready for it.
Followed by the rage quit I seen. He left before he was killed.
Yeah, right. Okay. Another Dice Scraper Redux. Penguins of Madagascar versus Nankatsu FC. Classic hit. Am I right? Chapter 1 with the drop down through the pipeline. Always interesting to see Usually a big hit, sometimes can get avoided, but very difficult to do so. Smoker, Hunter, Charger, Spit. They got exactly what they want. Triple charge, Hunter connecting on the back line, Smoke pulling back. But they're in the Spit. They take a ton of damage, and it's a great setup for Nankatsu FC. As we flip over to the tank, look at that double smack while keeping her in the corner. Going to be able to finish off Rochelle here eventually. Indeed, he will. Hunter Charger getting up, chasing the survivors down. Rock, smack, another down, and this did end up being a wipe onto the Penguins of Madagascar. Brilliant start for Nankatsu FC. The Penguins, a very well-known team, Akatsuki, as well as Sex in Action. You might recognize them from RBT7 or International Obscurity Cup. So they've got a tough opponent here. Kind of an off-tempo hit from Penguins, because you got to be aware that the pipeline hit's coming up, but he catches them with the charge, rips them out of the window. Hunt, Spit on the bottom side. Look at the Spit, such a nuisance here, and they get so much damage for that. But if you'll notice, Nankatsu FC made it into the safe room. They are starting on the survivor side on Chapter 2 with the lead against Penguins, which a lot of people wouldn't have expected. But they take a long time. The Penguins get a little bit they decide to send it. We'll leave it at that. And they do, in fact, send it. The Hunter catching. Jockey pulls into the Spit. Charger getting smack after smack. How's 15% for you? Straight out the gate. As we continue on our match, you can see the Penguins were able to break away, especially with a huge Chapter 2 bonus point lock-in. Jockey Smoker charge for Nankatsu. Smoke into the smack. Beautiful start as a charge follows up on that. But the tank not really depending on his SIs, not really trusting in the process. And I feel like he could have done a better job at keeping away. He does eventually go down, gets 1 to half health as well as an end cap, which is great. Nankatsu bringing it through. They're all on the stairwell. The Spit says no, you will go no further. Double boom. Hunter get up. Charge is in there as well. Boom stumbling backwards, and the tank, he buys enough time. The tank catches one out solo as the other 3 members huddle into his side room, and Vitali's gonna have 5,000 health left with an end cap.
Jeez. I can't believe that the tank is chasing one survivors when other 3 are hiding somewhere, but
Yeah.
here we go with the Team Bot and Babylonia. This was a great matchup, but I'll tell you what, this is the matchup of tanks focusing hittables way too much in this game now, let me tell you. On multiple occasions, here's Bravo deciding to abandon his car early, which is good. Look at the Smoker alley-oop. Looks good. Unfortunate, doesn't get the ricochet. He's able to get hidden well enough. The car doesn't land again. Bravo, with only a Hunter, 2,700 HP, hasn't gotten anything. And unfortunately for him, he is not going to get anything else. He's going to play with his car, and he's going to get killed. And that is going to be no damage coming out from Bravo's tank. And that is unfortunate for his team. A little rough start for them. But how about we swap the sides? Let's do the same scenario. Now it's going to be Team Bot playing against the tank. Look how well it's... Look at this damage. They're focusing the tank. It's not working. But Acer goes over there for some reason and gets hit. And then the jockey gets purple. Purple goes down. And now they have 2 survivors down, leaving Ram and Bravo, the only 2 left, trying to focus down this tank. And they have a shotgun and an Uzi, so it's going to be difficult to do damage. He tries for a car here and misses Purple somehow. This is going to let Coach to be picked up, or Coach to pick up the in-cap person. Let me get this right. There we go. Purple, look how close. One more. Purple, a sliver of health. They kill him. The Charger comes in for a punch, and they will pick up Purple with 19 HP and bleeding.
Wow.
So close, so close. And now he's going to head his way in. It's going to be Ramirez going through the door. This is a little questionable what he chose to do here, in my opinion. 1 punch onto Nick, 2 punches onto Nick, switch punches onto Coach, which is a double actually, then switches over to Ellis. He's punching everybody instead of solidifying the in cap. His support will go in. It all gets cleaned up, leaving him alone. And I don't know, I thought maybe he could have got an in cap and tried to wipe them out, but that's all he's really going to be able to get.
spreading the love, typically a good move, but I'm right there with you. Getting that end cap could have been what changed the game there.
And
You
Lear
got.
no, were you here for this match? I sorry.
I was.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
Go
no.
ahead.
Okay, all right. We got Spooky in for Babylonia. The Charger from the side room, the Hunter from the safe room, Cap onto Rochelle as she is cornered, and almost getting the. It doesn't even matter that the other two didn't land. They caused enough confusion for the jockey to carry into the side room, and I love this. The tank just blocks. He's got the rugs. This was such an amazing moment for Babylonia.
Yeah, just look at the aggression for them to try to get this. Ramirez eating the rock, eating the punch too. He's so lucky he didn't get in cap there, and they're able to survive, but it costed them everything. And believe it or not, no, they do make it to the safe room somehow.
Wow, that's right.
Just with nothing. The quad almost hits here into the double charge. The jockey and smoker combo. This was such a great hit, and it was before the tank as well, no. But we had questionable calls from the tournament we saw before this. Remember, nobody kept the tank or the survivors in that corner with this tank spawn.
Yeah, right.
We were baffled at why they didn't do that. And then here, Purple committing with his tank. Well, here's the hittable focus I thought was a little too much. He knows exactly how to punch it. Doesn't need to turn to line it up. They will get the in cap here. The jockey lands, smoker lands, Hunter will get skeeted. And now Purple trying to get desperate. That car unfortunately goes a little too far for him now. And this one's not going to connect, and they'll wipe out or kill his tank off. And they will survive.
Ooh. Usatsuki on the drop down. Bot set up in the warehouse. Got those different levels of verticality. He doesn't even care though. Gonna get the corner onto Bravo. Not quite, but the jockey is there to latch on, help out. Hunter, charge, getting in there for a moment. And they are gonna have the easy smacks on to Ellis. Not quite going to be able to finish him off. As he jumps up, they kill him off. Usatsuki just going to be getting one in cap. But look at Babylonia, still with tons of advantage on Chapter 4. Tanks, or the cars are coming in. So far they've been avoided. Their charge immediately cleared, and he just keeps going for the cars. You set up this match perfectly. The car was the focus of everything. And so often they were just scraping and not able to actually get the land. Babylonia, no in caps.
No, and then they're going to switch over to their tank now, playing against Bot. And Bot needed a very good round because they had their back up against the wall here.
Yeah.
And this finale is so hard to make up points right now, but Mila kind of struggling a little bit here. I don't know how Bravo does not eat that car. I've watched it so many times now. I am baffled at how close that was. The pole lands, gets cleared right away, and now this leaves Mila kind of all out by themselves out here. Still has 2,000 HP. No survivor really wants to be too aggressive, and you know what they just decide to do then? Hold the W key. I mean, what can he really do? You know what I mean? And that'll lead up to the tank going invite and getting nothing. As we go into the finale here, Purple needing a hero tank for his team, and I think the hittable focus is just a waste of time now, because they don't in cap, they just do 24 damage. This gets Purple's support killed off, and now Purple has nothing. Trying to get a desperate rock, decommits, and it's going to be a no-hitter from Purple. And unfortunately, mathematics comes into play here. And they need a perfect chapter. And right here, the pullback here and all. And this is already enough damage right about now. It is no longer possible for them to mount the comeback. Because they needed about, I think it was, I forget what it was now. With the distance, I think they only could lose 135 points or something.
I think you're right.
And that was already too much. Yeah, it was just too much.
Honestly, well played though. I mean, just from watching back the replays, it looked like it could have gone either way, but Babylonia pulling it out there. We head over to Salensis versus Matt Feeders, and this was an interesting situation. You'll see the other team, Salensis, had a tank like this, and they played it slightly different, and it changed everything. The boom out on one survivor, and he goes in, but you can see he's just got 100 jockey, and where are the CIs? The CIs are nowhere. There were like 2 or 3, maybe 4 that trickled in, but it mostly leaves Kaiser to just spin for himself. He does get one in cap, which is great. But as we head over to Matt Feeders, they actually get through the pipeline, But this just goes to show why you can't go for that early off-tempo hit, because if you get the setup here, this could equally launch out a lot of damage onto the survivors. They go in from the side rooms, Charger, Spitter, Hunter with the smoke, double inside the spit, the slow get up, smoke. Won't be doing too much, but still, it's a massive hit, even with not everything landing. They bring it into the tank. Look at the double boom. Look at all the CIs this time around that are running in, swarming in as Yeesens leads in the tank. He's got Jockey Charger. He also waited for the other, the boom after he died off to get his SI back. And we still have all these CIs coming in. They're wrapped around, they're swarmed, they're hounded, and there's nothing they can do. All the SIs come from the same angle. They get the double on the sideline, and it's a wipe.
Ooh, it's a rough start.
Yeah.
Look at that
As
delta.
we take it over,
Look at that delta.
you can see this is Silences had already played their second chapter at this point. So Matt Feeder still has hope, but again, they take too long. Silences is like, you know what? We're sending this. I wasn't ready for it again, but there it goes. The Hunter with the stumble onto Rochelle. She's trying to get the clears. She's standing in the spit to do it. The double death spit with the regular spit with the smoke. 12% straight away. We go into chapter 3. You can see Silences is up by a lot at this point. They're starting off round 1 on their side. But as we head into the cubicles, you know, this is a space where you can get caught off guard. A lot of visibility issues, etc. Side rooms that they can get dragged into. They're going to land this charge with the Hunter inside the spit, double spit. A beautiful moment from Matt Feeders.
Yes.
Now, as we see the tank, Silences gets seriously caught off guard here. Look at how much gap there is between these two. Smoker catches, Hunter's in there, the Rock 180 with the smack, and guess what? Silences gets wiped at this point. This was such a huge tank. You can see Sniffer Mito is what I've been calling him. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, but he's not getting hit very much, and he can just chase him down. But unfortunately, we see a very large point delta as Matt Feeders got wiped on chapter 3, and they are taking it to the finale. You see Team Captain Accost trying to set up this COVID ball the best he can. Nice little curve rock. Starts smacking it, and as it gets into this corner, I'm like, Accost, brother, pero tío, and he goes, yeah, and that's gonna be that. That's their takedown, and that really kills off the hope for any last chance hope that Matt Feeders had to get back into this. This is a little blood highlight. You can see one is incapped, one is hanging, and we got a Hunter Charger, right? And the two survivors on the other sides of the map right now. The Charger's going in, he dips out, the Hunter catches, and now it's just down to Coach. He kills off the tank, hops over, baits him out, kills the Smoker, hopping back and forth. Blood was on something on this match because he went psycho, and that was the pinnacle of it. Of course, Matt Feeders, they said at the start, I'll buy you Geometry Dash if we get 2,000 points here. And as much as I don't know if it was towards me or who it was towards, but I'm sure that person would have loved Geometry Dash, but it just wasn't meant to be. Smoker on the back line into the charge. It's as simple as that. And he goes for a very long ride to his death.
All right, as we go to the final game of the week, it is going to be the matchup everybody wanted to see, Ascendant versus Boys of the Favela. And let me tell you all, this game was something.
It sure was.
It was great to cast, as Fincy's going to lead it off with his tank. And I got to admit, Fincy takes a lot of damage here. This is another occasion where look at the tanks just choose to go for these hittables now. And look at how much pre-chip they take. Not only that, they send their Charger. And I think Frey had another plan in there to kind of help the tank. And they're just going to hold W. And the Smoker is going to miss. And now Fincy's going to be chasing. And this looks amazing for Favela right now. One boom is going to land. Fincy wants that car. Can't really get it. He really doesn't want to leave without it. But he has no choice.
Yeah.
But here goes Fincy's commit. Remember, he already is at half
Oh,
HP. This is such a hero smoker. Look at all the damage he's getting without losing any HP. He still has 2,000 right now, which is insane considering the situation he was in when he
yeah.
decided to commit. That is so much damage. And he's wise not to incap this Dina in the corner there and all, because Dina only had, if you look at it before they incapped him, had 3 HP, which that only would have done about, if I have my math here correctly, 6 points off her total bonus.
Exactly. And look at this hit onto Ascendant. The clap back from the boys in the favela with so much points. As Dina comes in with the tank, we're wondering, can Ascendant recover from this? The last match they played on this map was a tough loss against Diesel. And they're on this map once again. Dina going for that car. Everybody loved to hit this car. Dina's going to do what he can with it. 3k HP left, half of his HP. He's just going to go for the corner, knocks him out of it. Now, that was an interesting point because I think that player walking a little bit close towards the death charge, but pays off perfectly as the tank goes down. 70% bonus left.
Now, look at this quick commit from
Ooh.
Caution's tank. This was an interesting call. Ascendant double backed here. Their original call was to go back. No, I heard it in their war room, and Frey just said forward. And this actually works out for Ascendant in the end. The jockey lands get clear. The Charger's not able to find anything yet till now. Eventually lands, does do decent amount of damage, but the tank isn't really able to find anything else. No, most of the damage came from the SI, not from that tank.
I love that call. There's no cards to play with, which makes that spot a lot less scary. We see the choke point hit. Hunter, spit, charge, grabs him out of him, yoinks him right out. We still got the jockey alive, by the way. He's just hanging out on the back line, and it's still going to be a massive hit straight into a stairwell. They got exactly what they want to catch the boys with this one. Hunter, spit, charge, follow up, stumbles him through the spit. And this is not the same setups that we saw from the boys in favela. I like to see Ascendant nailing it with those stairwell hits.
And now here is Frey coming in from behind. And now he tries to throw a rock here. They got the support they want, but look at Favela said, "Nope, we're not staying here. We're gonna run the map now." As he accidentally kills his hunter, he kills the hunter there while trying to punch the door. And I was funny listening to Kryja react from that because that was Kryja who gets killed. By the way, they close the door on the tank's face. The tank is in pursuit now, mind you. Now he has no support yet, and he is committing. He has nothing right now. He's funneling the survivors. He needs to get him off this first of all, because they can just kite him otherwise. He is down on the ground, 3,000 HP, throws a rock, a little questionable, doesn't get it. Chasing, Smoker from so far away, gets him his corner. The Hunter caused enough distraction for Frey to get his in cap. And now he's just down here with a couple hundred just trying to play goalie. Misses a rock there, tries to throw for another one here. He is not going to get it, and here he just tries to be desperate, which if he was patient and all, look at what he could have got right here.
Ooh,
right on that smoker, probably with a follow-up smack.
They recover, but not for long. Jockey hunt, double boom. It is, and with the smoke as well on the sidelines, and it turns into a quad boom. They didn't have much bonus left after this tank to start with, but that's not going to be doing them any favors. It even slows them down a ton.
Yeah, that was a great job there by Ascendant. And here, I don't know quite. Ellis stayed back a little bit, tried to clear, and this actually led up to Avila losing the rest of their bonus because it almost was like a tri-cap, kind of a double cap come rolling in because one is cleared at a time. So they will be able to pick up a couple people, but unfortunately, Favela will die shortly after, not able to make safe room. And we're actually turning the button off, makes everything dark inside, so... Oh, this is a pretty rough spot right here. Oh, look at this. Charge, death, spit. Watch Kryja's HP. 78. Oh, and it froze. Here it goes. Look at it go down. 78 to 32. Big damage.
Alright, pops the pills, runs it back. Very familiar tank. Robeck's only 2k, 1k. This SI support is finally in. Smoker finds it, but they got the clear on the Hunter before it could happen. And Ascendant will get chunked down here. Robeck's making it work with so little HP. 2 extra smacks, maybe 3 there at the end.
Uh-oh, no. Remember this one.
Oh,
I can tell you,
immaculate.
let me tell you, Kryja was not very happy for this, and I can't blame him because his protection there just backed up and left him to die.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they will wipe out, and Kryja, and right now Ascended had a commanding lead now, and unfortunately, things happen, and as they just try to finish them up, they'll lose all their bonus here, which eventually will lead to their demise. But look at, he has to reload both of his guns right now. Nick, you hate the feeling when you have to do it. I've been there.
Yeah.
And it's just going to reach all their bonus gone, but they will last just for one more hit, as eventually they'll fall their demise shortly after this, which I believe I'm going to leave this roll into that. So I'll just give it a little bit.
Yeah.
And we'll see what brings them up to their end. Bit delay. Boomer triple.
Beautiful.
You don't even need any cappers at this point, no. You can
Right.
you can just let nature take its course now with the zombies. And they will wipe out there.
This is a big moment for the boys in the favela. They need a big comeback here.
What clears the smoker? Watch this now. Tell me if you can explain this. 'Cause there's no bullets. Huh?
I can't even tell you. I can't. I was so perplexed. Fortunately, he does though.
Yeah, Frey had every reason to be upset there.
And they cleared the smoke too for the death charge opportunity. They just send in for damage, which they do find. A very nice double cap in the spit hit after the death charge goes sideways. And what a hit this was. Rochelle tries to dodge a charge. She hits it anyways, trying to keep her trapped in there. Robeck's getting carried away, and the jockey goes down. Still got the smoker. Still got the jockey. Jockey or smoker's ready to smoke. He does get cleared, and you can see a decent enough scoreline. Discreet, bringing it in. Got the corner. Down goes Krycha. Jockey in the head. Hunter charge. Hunter through. Finds him. Quick clears. Vinci does not get downed. He will. They get the double down, but they finish off Discreet.
And now, we already know that the Vivila boys need a massive amount of points. The Hunter finds its target and all. The Spitter is in, the Charger is in. The Jockey keeps the cover so that the Survivor doesn't get cleared right away. And look at the big 10% from the gate. And they already needed a couple hundred HP in order to get this. And here comes Innuendo for his team. Just needs to do a little bit. They pop pills early, which is a little rough for them because they need those points. But Innuendo, look at, he's almost dead now. And support comes in, and they get a lot of damage. They will survive, but that point delta is already too great right there. I think at this point now they had like 50 points left to spare, but they'll lose it shortly after.
Yeah. Oh, we got the extra clip. This is for Sinji. Sinji always tuning in. Such a top player, too, in his own right. Babylonia versus Uni from last week. It looked like this tank hittable was out of play, but Sinji makes it happen with the double from outer space. They had no sight on that, no vision line. Sinji just drops it up and over, and there's nothing they could do about it. I told y'all that it was insane. I'm so glad that you were able to get this clip in again. Look at the hittable control. He does it all by himself.
Yeah, and GG for them, and they'll get the win, and that will be our final highlight for this week. Well, actually for last week, I could say, because we haven't had our matches yet this week. And speaking of those, we have some exciting matches nonetheless. Now, let me tell you, we pop it up over here. Let's check it out. Sorry if it's a little bright for everybody's eyes, but we got, look at Lobscurite against Signalis. That one's going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Ascendant versus Hikori now. This one's going to be a pretty big one. Favela Boys against Cat Revenge. That one's going to be a good one as well. I'm looking forward to that one. I believe Hamster Combat and Let Me Down Slowly is going to be a pretty even match as well. Or the mid tiers. Another good one right here. Look at this. Babalanya against Epoknok. And right below it, I got to change that name. Team Bot against Goat. And then Anthrax against Uni. And let's see what else we got going down. YBG against Amazing and Shocking Asia. a
Yeah.
lot of these teams you're aware of. I believe a lot of these should be pretty balanced at this point and all. And also, Berber, yeah, that's Chorus against Rap Stars, and of course, I didn't find Goat yet. Let's see, where is Goat at?
Bot versus Goat.
Oh yeah, Bots versus Goat. I'm thinking of RBT when they had that different name.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, these are the
Yeah.
matches set for the week, and we have 3 set already, all for Saturday,
Nice.
4 p.m., 8 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern, depending on what time zone that you're in. Stay tuned for those, and we'll keep getting them scheduled as soon as they're in. But here, everybody, if you want to follow the schedule, here is the schedule.
Yep.
This is the King Infernus Cup schedule. We're also going to get the schedule up for the Kamika Cup as well. They're still finishing some bracket stages, so at the moment I don't have a link for that one. I should definitely get one added to that so they can follow both of them. But
Yeah.
that
And that's actually super heating up, by the way. Like, we're headed to the end of the qualifiers. The team's been battling through that. There's been so much bloodshed, and we'll see who are those 4 lucky bracket winners. But does conclude us for Kings Infernus Cup. Here they are. Yeah,
here we go. We got them,
awesome.
and we got one scheduled already. We got a lot of these teams that are on here. Before we go forward and explain to everybody about the Kamika Cup and all, is that some of these teams here are a little bit newer in this beginning single elimination round, and that is due to the amount of teams that signed up for this was very, very large. So they didn't want to leave them out. They made this extra bracket stage for them, which is a couple additional rounds. And I think it's going to work out because King Infernus Cup is probably going to enter its playoff stage right when this one gets ready to start their regular bracket stage, which I'm looking forward as well. Now it's going to flow very nicely together.
You're exactly right. 32. It's kind of a range. There's a lot of top teams that showed up, and there's also some newcomers that you're seeing here. There are a lot of these teams are going to be eliminated, but definitely got my eyes on some of them. Kalimba versus Moonlit Ravens Rome should be hype. Teletubbies versus Tris Boys as well. And also Pulverizer Kings versus Tide of Iron. Those are 3 matches I'd be looking for, as well as Little Wolf versus Book, if the mainland China server cooperates with me for that one.
Yeah, believe me, I know what that's like. I know what that's like. Yeah. And actually, real quick, we're actually going to schedule this game. I'm actually going to.
Nice.
Actually, I'll fix it a little later because I need to. Because the Beijing time throws me off, but. That is it for this live show. These are the schedules. Check them out in chat. And that is going to end it for today and our show. But is there anything else you want to send out of here now before we set up a raid over to Adam and give everybody some free zombies?
Shout out to the teams. I mean, it's been so sick to see y'all competing. And a quick note, as always, we get so many matches that happen on Saturday, Sunday, to the point that even me and MK both, even with the Spanish casters, the Chinese caster added in, sometimes there's too many matches scheduled at the same time to be able to cover them all. So an easy way to get your match 100% covered would, of course, be to schedule it for a weekday in the evening. Just tossing that out there because I know a lot of y'all love to get your matches casted. That's a surefire way to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Give us time in advance. We'll set it up and let us do what we do. As it took me to the last sentence before the hiccups found me, but they found me right here at the end. We almost got clean. I should start putting a prediction now when I do a live show. Will the hiccups get MK or will they not? I think it's going to have to be a prediction for the live show.
Everyone would bet on yes.
Yeah, everybody's
no one
going to
would bet on
yes.
not.
Yes, we'll keep that as a prediction from now on. It's going to be hiccups or not, but that's going to end it for today, guys. So